Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. So in the last one we got all of the old base cleared up. I did clear up the two remaining microverse projectors in between the episodes, and I've set those up. A couple of changes to our microverse projector room. I've set up the tier 4 as well as the tier 5 medium microverse projectors. This tier 4 is for the dense ore mission. This is for both lapis as well as redstone. The lapis we're processing just for the lapis, the regular lapis, which is used in multiple different recipes. And the dense redstone we're processing into rhodochrosite. That's used in some of the nuclear craft stuff. And then this tier 5, we are getting boron, primarily. We need boron. And this boron dust is also used as part of an alloy smelter recipe, I believe, for ferroboron, which is used in tough alloy, and that's also used all over the place in the crafting recipes. We also get a nice byproduct of ender pearl blocks, which can just be turned shapelessly into regular ender pearls, which is quite nice. I guess the third one I also set up was the exquisite mission. I think this is tier 3, and this gives us both ruby and emerald. The ruby we are crushing into ruby dust, as this is going to be used later on for energium dust. And this is used in energy crystals. We're going to need this for one of the creatives, I think it is. Yeah, it's this ultimate power storage. We need quite a lot of ruby dust. So that's being sent automatically to a macerator, where all the other machines are. And then we're also getting exquisite emeralds, which we need for crystal chips, or crystal CPUs. This recipe here, we have a blast furnace for these. And these are processed into the CPUs, which are used for the tier 5 circuits. And speaking of circuits, I also upgraded our circuit production, at least the tier 3 to 6. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't ask me why I have that order. It's just the way I've done it. But these are UV assembling machines now, which meant adding a couple of extra recipes into our assembly line. I was missing some of these UV components, which are not too bad, to be honest, now that we have the assembly line set up. And this is the robot arm I also added. Yeah, it's nothing really too difficult at this point. A few other processing array additions as well. The lava crystals, which were just in a single chemical reactor down there. I found myself running out of these, so I'm running these just with LUV right now. But the bottleneck with these seems to be the crafting speed of these compressed blocks, which are used for these wyvern cores. So I think we're going to have to upgrade that. But I've got a plan for that. I'll talk about that in a second. I also added these Signalum heavy platings. I think this is for tier 5 microminers, which we're just doing on demand down there. But yeah, apart from that, not many other changes. I've just been doing some more building, cleaning up around here as well. But the plan for today is going to try and work on the next creative item, which is going to be the creative mill, like I mentioned in the last episode. So I have encoded the recipe for the creative mill. And if we try to request this, we can see exactly what we're missing. It's actually a bit less than what I thought. Only 76 chaos shards, which are easy at this point. A couple of mills that I have to add. There's some this enchanted ingot, which we're going to have to set up Enchanter for, this recipe here. This extra utilities Enchanter requires some bookshelves or magical wood or Botania pylons or whatever. Of course, they're not in this pack, but we'll need a space for that. And then scrolling down this list, we have more or less everything else. There's a couple other things at the bottom of the page I think we don't have. Restonia, I still don't have this automated again since I took it down. But everything else... Oh no, there's a couple more things at the bottom. Another Heart of the Universe, but I do have another tier 9 and 10 crafted already. So no problem, we just have to send those missions. And then there is this wrench. There is only like 2 recipes that I still have using a wrench. I know that I really shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I think it's this hopper. And I'm going to probably just keep that since you only need like a handful of hoppers. So you know what, I'm just going to make another one of these. Neutronium. There, that should last us. So yeah, these creative mills will allow us to do the upgrades for our crafters, which are these things here. And these we can put in those, what are the extra utilities crafters that are crafting all of our passive items, these. So that will be able to increase this lava crystal or compressed lava crystal block, because it's just that this crafter simply is too slow. However, when we put more speed in upgrades, it also increases our GP production, or consumption, I mean. So yeah, let's just start by encoding the recipes that we don't have. I think I'll start with these mills. They shouldn't be too bad. I think most of the stuff we're going to have. Let's put those in. I suspect we're still missing a few things out of these as well. So water mills look good to go. What about lava mill? Yeah, block of infused lava crystal. I think I'm just going to actually add that as a applied energistics recipe. This one. Since we have a lot of these lava crystals backed up, just not the compressed versions. So that's water and lava mill, and then windmill. Have we missed anything for this? Just a redstone gear. Dragon mill. Eyes of redstone, which is a alloy smelter recipe. That's easy enough. Okay, so we're now able to craft each of the basic mills. Let's move on to this enchanter setup. So the problem now is that we're actually kind of running out of space. We have to like build more on. And I also when moving all the stuff from downstairs, I put our glacial precipitator here for snowballs. And then also the compactor for gears and plates here, the ones that we're doing on demand. So I think I'll just tack it onto this part here, the enchanter that is. Or maybe, you know what, maybe we can just put it in this little corner here. Okay, so I decided to set up 2 different enchanters here. In theory this should work, I haven't actually tested it yet, but we just have 2 interfaces for the patterns, which will put the items into the crate, which are then being extracted with item conduits on 2 separate channels to import and export from this enchanter. And it's exactly the same on both sides. I'm just grabbing the ME conduit connection from back here. Same with power, that's just coming from over there as well. And I've hidden it all with facades. So now we just have to encode the recipes for these enchanters, I mean. Which was the magical apple and enchanted metal, or evil infused metal, I mean. And we might as well do a pattern in each. Just duplicate these. So we put 1 of each in each interface here. And then when we request apples, hopefully it splits it among these 2. Which it does. It is very, very slow, so we'll need to upgrade these. I think that's the first thing we'll do. But now that we have access to those materials, we should be able to make the upgrades. So we'll make 8 of these to begin with. Oh right, also the enchanted ingot needs to be made in the enchanter as well. Which is, what? Golden lapis, that's easy. Now we should be able to make 8 of these tier 2 upgrades. And then, what does it take for the tier 3? Can we make 8 of these? We can. Yeah, I also added drop of evil, as I looked at this recipe before. Drop of evil we're getting from our DML. This is from pristine wither matter. So I added a loot fabricator for this. So let's just go ahead and order some of the ultimate upgrades as well. And yeah, these are so slow without upgrades. But this is going to really eat into our grid power. In fact, I don't even know if we'll be able to sustain this because like we're up to like 300, and these upgrades really bump that up a lot. Okay, so that's all 8 upgrades finished, and I put just 4 in each. Now that's out of the way, let's just go back and double check what our requirements were again for the creative mill. We can't be that far off by now. So chaos shards, grains of infinity. I think I'm going to have to upgrade the grains of infinity farm. This Ristonia crystal that I've still been putting off. The fire mill. Oh, it looks like I missed one of the mills. And then the heart of the universe. In fact, let's just get the heart of the universe right now. So tier 10, we already have one. And I already sent the tier 9 mission, so let's just launch the tier 10. Easy as that. As if it's nothing. And then chaos shards, we should have... Okay, yeah, we need to send a number more tier 7s. We have 20 crafted. I might bump up the threshold to stock a bit more than 20. But for now, we'll just send 20. Also, this dragon lair data that we need to send the tier 7, I might have to speed this up as well. Because I'm doing most of it on demand. With this recipe here, with the impossible realm data. I'm not actually sure if this is a better recipe to use. With the ender dragon one. I kind of want to keep the ender dragon for the ender dragon scales. Because I know we're going to need a lot of these. So I don't really know what to do about that, to be honest. I mean, it's not that slow. It's applied energistics crafting this, but Just wanted to make sure this was actually running, but yeah, it is running, it just takes some time. Just a bit of patience for our Heart of the Universe here, for the tier 10 mission. Let me also fix this fire mill issue as well. Yeah, this fire mill recipe has some weird NBT with the, well, not weird, but personal NBT with this wireless RF heating coil, so I think you have to manually input the one that you craft. And that should fix it. I fixed the fire mills, and that just leaves the Grains of Infinity and these Restonia crystals. I think what I'm going to do to resolve this is to encode the recipe for the tier 4? Yeah, this tier 4 mission. We're already making all of this, so we might as well just set up this mission for a couple thousand or 100, I don't know. It's not that many in the grand scheme of things, Infinity or Grains of Infinity that we need for these end game crafts. I'm just going to set this mission up in our medium microverse projector, and this way we get 16 dust blocks, which turn into, I'm assuming, 9. Yeah, 9. So we get 9 times 16 per microminer, which is, I think, just enough to satisfy this. So we have to set up the recipe for this, which is this one here. I believe we get everything here. Oh, I should rename this as well. So this will be, what, tier 4 grains. And we make it equal to this block. And then I just have to set up the logic on the medium microverse projector. And I think we'll just share it, the output. Although that might be a little tough since we have drawers on the output. I mean, I guess we can just add more drawers to this. Yeah, that'll be fine. So all the logic is now set up. Let's request one of these so we can set the drawers. So tier 4 grains, we're missing composition sensors. I guess we've never actually sent this mission before. What do composition sensors take? Easy enough. We're already passively crafting all of these, so I'll just set up that for on demand. Okay, let's try that again. So tier 4 is going to craft it up. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so we get the oil sands. I'm just going to hide that in this drawer here, and we'll give this a void upgrade, since we're never actually going to use this. Like, I mean, it's basically useless. And then the infinity dust blocks we'll put up here and max upgrade the drawer. And then we'll have to add a recipe to turn the blocks into the dust. And that should be that done. So now we're just missing 80 chaos shards and some restonia. Which honestly I'm just going to batch craft again. We only need 1700. I'll also send the rest of the tier 8s, which should be... We should have the chaos data for that. I always get this name mixed up. Yeah, we should be able to send 20 more of these for chaos shards, and then we'll get this creative mill crafted, hopefully. Okay, I gathered up all the chaos shards, and I also pre-crafted all of the generators for this. That is this recipe here. This took quite a long time. And in fact, most of the time was spent with the fusion crafters for the solars. These have multiple different tiers, including chaotic tier, which we don't have on passive yet, and these draconic energy cores. And then it has to make awakened cores. So yeah, that took a fair amount of time. It took about 10 minutes to make 4 generators, which is not really acceptable. So because of that, I think I'm going to upgrade these fusion crafts tonight. Probably just copy this over this side and then add awakened cores to our passive list. I'm not sure exactly the configuration yet, but I know I'm going to add at least another... Well, I'm going to double what our capacity is right now. Anyways, yeah, that now allows us to make this creative mill. This is now craftable. This shouldn't be too difficult now that we have the generators crafted. So let's just hit the go button and get our third creative item. I also noticed this morning that we had 470-ish tier 8s, which is a bit insane. I think I misconfigured this level emitter. It's supposed to only be 20 in here, but yeah, somehow we ended up with 400. We're going to use them, but I kind of wanted to keep the number of tier 7s and 8s more or less matched, since you need the tier 7 to launch the tier 8. But it's no big deal. So how far away are we? Just one infinity catalyst to go. Almost there for the creative mill. Wait a second, this is the same thing that happened last time with the infinity catalyst. I remember last time when we were making the creative RF, this thing got stuck, and that's... Oh yeah. It's because it's on the wrong setting, that's why. I forgot about that. Let me fix this. Okay, the recipe should be amended now. Let's try this again. So there should just be 2 steps left, the Infinity Catalyst and the mill. There we go. Okay, it's crafting the mill. And any minute now. There we go. Creative mill. And the quest? Oh yeah, no quest. Of course. Anyway, yeah, that creative mill, this is going to be, I mean, I guess useful. It'll allow us to upgrade our crafters with more speed upgrades. We'll just place it here for now. And we have to make, I think, another 4 of those, something like that. Creative vending is 4, or is it 2 creative mill? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 creative mills. So we need another 3 of those. So that's 3 down and some number to go. Let's maybe decide what we want to do next. So we could do the armor next, but that does take quite a lot of infinity. I think I might leave that till the end since it's not really essential. Well, actually no, the solars are going to be the last thing we do because these are the most expensive things. This takes like many infinity ingots each. So yeah, we're going to leave solars till last, and then second last will be the armor and the sword. Next up, I guess we can do creative energy cell. Let's maybe do this next. So this takes a lot of max machine casings. All this is pretty easy, I think. There isn't really going to be much in it, apart from these 4 ultimate power storages. These are the real expensive part, and then again another heart of the universe. So I haven't actually had a look at this recipe like in depth, so I'm not exactly sure what this will take. It does take a lot of circuits, lapis plates, and energium dust. This is the thing I was mentioning earlier with the ruby. And then these crystals, we'll have to set up a machine for this, probably a PA. Although we'll probably just do it on demand. I don't know yet exactly. I'll have to look into it a bit more. This max battery, I'll have to set up a recipe for this. All of these items though, I think we have the infrastructure to actually make. We just have to put in the recipes for it. As for the resource cost, or the resources, I don't actually know if we have them yet. We'll have to wait and see. But first of all, I think I'm going to spend the rest of tonight upgrading our fusion injectors, and I'll come back tomorrow and then we'll maybe start by encoding the recipe for that battery thing. Or the creative power source, I mean. And yeah, then we'll take it from there, because I know that we're going to need a lot more fusion crafts, and I'd quite like to get this upgraded. So I managed to get all of the fusion upgraded last night, and yeah, look at this place now. I decided to add another 6 chaotic crafters for on demand along the sides, and then 3 more for on demand, just the same as these 3. And these 3 are another 3 passive processes. So the first one we have here is, what is this actually? Oh yeah, these are wyvern cores. The reason it's not crafting right now is because I have the input level limited. I'll show you that in a second. This is another one for, wait, that was awakened cores. These are wyvern cores here, which is the same as what's over here. So we have 2 doing wyvern cores just to speed it up. Since these awakens take the wyvern cores, I have it level limited for to keep at least 1,000 wyvern cores before it starts making awakened cores. However, all of these other ones that aren't doing anything can also make awakened cores on demand. So say we need like a couple hundred for a big craft, these will make them on demand. But if we have over 1,000, that's just what I have it set to right now. If we have over 1,000 wyvern cores, then this will start to make awakened cores on its own. And then this one is for passive, what are they, energy cells, energy cores, these. The reason this isn't crafting is just because I'm out of the input items right now. I'm just working on passive in those right now. And this process is also level limited for awakened cores, which are these ones here. And I just have that at 100, so when we have over 100 of these, it starts making these as well. And I was considering to passive the chaotic, these chaotic cores. Although I don't really know if I want to do that. I mean, we do need a sizable amount of these, since they're used in the Infinity Catalyst, but I think I'm fine just doing these on demand. We now have, well, what is it, 9 chaotic capable crafters. So I think that's just going to be fine. So yeah, pretty happy with this setup now. We have passive of a lot of the things from Fusion, and this will definitely speed up our crafting in the future. So now let's set up the rest of this passive processes for this draconic energy core. There's a few things we're not making passively right now, which is these compressed octadic RF capacitors, and also the middle item, the Wyvern energy core. So let's maybe add those to our crafters right now. Alright, so I added the other 3 capacitors. This is the double layer, then octadic, just takes some glowstone and vibrant alloy. This one takes coal dust and energetic. And then we compress that into the compressed versions. So that's that out of the way. And then just one more thing, which is this Wyvern core. This isn't going to be quite so simple because we have to make the quintuple battery. And we also have to make advanced coils, which take Restonia. So I've been skirting around this long enough, but I think it's time we automate the atomic reconstructor again for Restonia at least. So maybe let's just do that. I can't avoid it anymore. And one more thing actually, before we do that, I wanted to show you this network visualization tool. I was chatting to someone in the comments of last video about the size of the network here, and check this out. How mad is that? That looks awesome though. Look at this. Can you imagine playing this pack with channels? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's just it would just be a big massive headache. But yeah, look how awesome this looks. But yeah, that's a really cool sight to see. Anyways, enough delaying this atomic reconstructor. Let's actually set this up. And there we have it. This will spit out more Restonia than we can ever hope to use. And I decided just to put it next to our little tree farm I built a bit on the end here, next to our enchanters. So this is almost the same setup as what we had. I don't know how many episodes it was before, but yeah, I'll quickly go over how this works. So we have the atomic reconstructor here, and then the ranged collector picking up the items. Let me actually remove these facades, just so you can see how this works. Okay, this should give us a better look at how this works. So we have the main ME and power connection coming in here, which is connected to the storage bus on the output, which is the Restonia blocks. That is also connected to this ME interface, which supplies blocks of redstone. And these blocks of redstone are extracted from the interface without a signal. So when we have less than 200 Restonia blocks, I'll probably end up bumping that up. That goes into this small chest, which buffers 1 stack of redstone. And then this import bus will import it into this subnet I've got here with a formation plane, which places drops the items as entities. It then gets zapped by the atomic reconstructor and turns it into Restonia. And this, by the way, I have pulsing with a redstone clock just to make it pulse really quick, because otherwise it's like every 10 seconds or something. I know that this does use a lot of power, but obviously power isn't an issue, so I just have this connected with some redstone conduit up here. And then the output from the ranged collector is filtered with Restonia, and that's output to this drawer from this conduit here. And then yeah, that's our output drawer here, which is again connected with the storage bus. So it's pretty simple, and we can add like more resources if it turns out we need to passive emeradic or something. We can do that as well. Alright, so moving on, and that means we can put in all the recipes for these batteries. I don't think there's anything else we're missing here. We're making empowered diamantine. We are fluid solidifying this, I think. Yeah, we are. We just have to get the crystals, because I think we're only making blocks. And then all the batteries. Same with Inori, we have Inori. I'll have to make these coils. I don't know if... Oh, I must be doing energetic wire. And I'm doing conductive wire, so yeah. We now have everything. It's just going to be a lot of input and crafting recipes, so I'm just going to take the time and add those to our wall. We may actually have to expand this though. We're kind of running out of space. And I don't really want to go much taller, because I don't think we're going to have another level on this, so it's going to make it tough to put the roof on this. So what I might do is just build another one in front here, just at a lower level. Turns out I was just talking about adding more to this, and I was like even talking about these batteries being having a nori. I thought this was empowered nori. No, it's regular nori, which has to be reconstructed, so I added a nori also to this, which is blocks of iron. So I just switched it up with a regular chest and put limited item filters here instead on the inserts, just so that it doesn't jam it up with one type. And then I'm also level limiting here, just like on the other side. So I'm going to finish off encoding all those batteries again. And mission accomplished. We are now passive in the Wyvern energy cores. I added another 2 sides to this. I kind of wanted to keep the middle open though. I didn't really want to like block it all off. I wanted to keep this walkway in the middle and then be able to see all the crafters as you walk in. And by the way, this death, when I was switching over these assembling machines, I think it was 2 days ago by now, I took down the assembling machine that was crafting these tier 4 circuits that was down there. I think that was at LUV tier or maybe ZPM before. And I didn't realise that I had that still in my hand, and I placed it down and blew up, and then, yeah, it kind of like shot me back to here and I died instantly. So that was fun. Let's just actually remove that. Oh, this looks cool from the map view. I've not actually seen this in a while. Anyways, yeah, with that, the wyvern cores, we should now be, or the fusion craft should turn itself on, I think. For this. Oh no, it'll just be filling buffers until we get enough awakened cores. Oh, that's alright. So as I mentioned, I think we're going to go for creative energy cell next. However, I think that's about all the time we've got for today. Maybe in between episodes I'll put in the recipes for all this, and then we'll come back and we'll tackle some more of this infrastructure we need for the ultimate power storages. And hopefully we can even get this for next time. At least one of these. I kind of want to make one of each of the creatives, and then right at the end I'll fill in the rest of this vending upgrade by making the rest. So I want to have the capability to craft RF sources, which we already have, obviously. But yeah, the capabilities to craft like the drums, the solars, the jetpacks. And I'll make just one to begin with, and then I'll craft the rest to fill in the pattern. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Once again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.